Will this be Sweden's next 3-star restaurant? Vene is the most anticipated restaurant reopening in Scandinavia. Chef Daniel Berlin previously ran a 2-Michelin-starred restaurant in the south of Sweden that sadly closed in 2020. Daniel Berlin has always been one of our favorite chefs in the Nordics, so we were thrilled when he announced his next chapter a few years later. The project instantly felt more ambitious, with the addition of luxurious hotel rooms and a casual food and wine bar on site to complement the fine dining restaurant. In May 2024, Vene received 2 Michelin stars. Keep watching to see the full experience at Vene. We'll show you the tasting menu at the fine dining restaurant, where we tasted some of the best dishes we ate this year. We'll show you the hotel where we stayed overnight in their top suite and drank champagne in the bubble bath before ending the day with more snacks and food at the wine bar. And we'll show you the lovely farm-style breakfast we enjoyed in the morning before we went on a picnic by the sea. Vene is located in Skåne, Sweden, about a 2-hour drive from Copenhagen. The word Vene means view in Swedish, named for the panoramic sea views from the restaurant's dining room. Although it was a bit foggy when we visited in October, fall is a magical time to visit, with autumn leaves fluttering from the trees and the mist hanging in the air. A renovated former farmhouse has been transformed into the height of Nordic luxury. Even the waiting area is incredibly plush, with chic chairs and sofas along one side of a long sloping hallway. At the end, a stunning wooden door with hand-carved plants and vegetables stands illuminated, marking the restaurant entrance. Not unlike the door to Narnia, it swung open automatically as we approached and beckoned us into another world. The smell of the hearth greeted us inside, and, even more enticing, the smell of the open kitchen. The Vene experience begins in an expansive lounge with high ceilings, thick wooden beams, and a crackling fire. We enjoyed our first snacks here. The first was a bowl of ice-cold, cured halibut, wrapped around a small sphere of apple, topped with a piece of salted duck. This was clean and fresh, with something tropical and bubblegum-like in the sauce. This was served with a mini dry martini, like a snaps on the side. The next snack came in 2 parts. On top, a crustade with grilled oyster emulsion, tomatoes, and a translucent slice of pork cheek that melted in the mouth. This was an insane snack with so much umami, I never wanted this flavor to leave my tongue. Underneath was a bowl of Kaitlin, sour cream, and caramelized celeriac marmalade. This was so fresh and citrusy, it could almost be a dessert, with a balanced creaminess, a tartness from the marmalade, and salt from the fish eggs. Next came a bowl of comfort, brown butter cooked Norwegian king crab topped with a warm brown butter foam, served with salsify and a rosehip and saffron sauce. With so much butter in one bowl, how could this be anything but delicious? The last snack was a firework of a bite that exploded in the mouth. A rye tart was filled with a rich pheasant liver mousse, topped with a sweet gel made from pear, apple, and quince, and fig leaf oil. This was a really savory bite with such a depth of flavor. Then we moved into the dining room with big windows facing the sea. At our table, we reunited with a familiar face, Mechthild, a white wine from one of our favorite producers, Gutegau. A dish that's become a Vene signature and the most memorable from our meal was the hot and cold scallop, a half-raw, half-cooked Norwegian scallop, served with a velvety sauce made from apple, dill, sugar kelp seaweed, and scallop roe. The bottom of the scallop was still raw and completely ice-cold, with a silky, slippery texture. Meanwhile, the seared top had a meatier bite and a caramelized crust with a crunchy, crispy edge. This was a completely unique preparation, an original way of handling such a beautiful product. The Scandi seafood party continued with Norwegian langoustine in 2 servings. First, the cold langoustine claw. We were instructed to turn the shell over and scoop out the inside, where there's a creamy langoustine salad under those carrot slices. This was tart and fresh with a nice acidity. The second langoustine serving was the tail. Gently poached in brown butter, served with yellow beetroot, white currant vinaigrette, and a black currant wood sauce. We think Norwegian langoustine is one of the best ingredients in the world, and this was a stunning dish. Butter heaven, but also with lovely rich berry notes. This was another favorite from the meal. Next, we enjoyed a comforting bowl of fall flavors: chanterelles, grilled artichoke hearts, fermented wax beans, and egg yolks. This was so delicious. It tasted like a buttery, cheesy pasta with a garlicky parsley paste at the bottom. Daniel Berlin's play on the classic Scandinavian shrimp and cream dish combined raw Norwegian fjord shrimp with plum butter, mountain cow cream, and horseradish. This was served ice cold. The flavors here were so sweet and creamy, like a plum porridge. It's another one that could almost be a dessert. Our first meat course was Swedish pheasant, dry-aged for 5 days, dipped in butter and left for another week, marinated in creme fraiche, and cooked in a pheasant, pear, and cabbage broth. We were served the poached pheasant breast and thigh, alongside black truffle, an emulsion like hollandaise made with bird fat, and a piece of crispy candied skin. This was the best pheasant dish we've had. Not gamey at all, but like a more flavorful chicken or turkey. You can say we were pheasantly surprised. Then we were served a small loaf of sourdough bread from a nearby bakery, with mountain cow butter. This was a perfect bread serving: soft, warm, chewy sourdough bread with a crunchy crust and an amazingly cheesy butter. We picked our weapons for the last savory course of the meal. Fallow deer cooked over the fire, served with black trumpet mushrooms, sea lettuce and honey berries, set mushroom butter, black garlic, and a sauce made from deer bones. This was an amazing deer dish, like smoky barbecued deer, balanced by a tart berry sauce. We refreshed our palates with a light dessert made from mountain cow milk ice cream, rose foam, apple marmalade, and a crispy salt meringue. This was so floral, like eating a perfume in a good way. We moved back into the lounge for the final sweet bites of the meal. The staff had noticed it was our anniversary, so they brought out a celebration tart for us, made with wild strawberries, white chocolate frosting, and lightly salted vanilla cream. This was such a sweet touch. My favorite sweet bite came next. A cherry tart topped with woodruff cream and elderflower gel. This was like a bite-sized pie with a buttery crust and a tart and fruity filling. Next was a sweet and savory combo of honey sorbet, parsley and tarragon granita, and a drizzle of honey on top. This was clean and green, with honey providing natural sweetness. 3 petit fours came in a wooden box: a Swedish wild strawberry marmalade, a salty and sticky roasted chicken fat fudge, and an intensely chocolatey tart. The perfect finish to end a flawless meal at Vene. The best part about the new venue is that you can spend the night. There are 15 hotel rooms at Vene, including 2 suites. We had the suite with the view, with a huge bathtub to soak in. We drank champagne and read books in the bubble bath, listened to music on the high-quality Bluetooth speaker, and played board games provided in the room. The beds had an unreal level of comfort. We slept so well in the peaceful, tranquil surroundings. It was a perfect weekend escape, and we never wanted to leave. Did you know that we have a worldwide food community called the Hungries? Members of our food club get VIP perks at Vene: a free welcome drink at the restaurant, a free snack in the hotel room, and exclusive access to pre-bookings and special events. Click the sign-up link in the video description to join the club. Since we went to Vene for lunch, we had dinner at their casual food and wine bar in the evening. The restaurant shares the same pantry as Vene, so dishes are made with some of the same ingredients you see on the tasting menu, but in a more casual way. The goal is to be sustainable and not waste any food. We loved the langoustine and lemon crustade, which was totally like a fine dining snack. We liked the seasonal pumpkin and lentil dish with pumpkin cream and hazelnuts. But our favorite was the poached pear topped with vanilla ice cream and an addicting rosemary caramel sauce. That dessert is worth a visit alone. We woke up the next morning and the fog had lifted, revealing the beautiful view. Breakfast is included for all hotel guests at the food and wine bar. When you arrive, there is sourdough bread, rye bread, butter, cheese, and deer ham on the table. Then they bring yogurt with house-made granola and jam, and delicious fresh apple juice. They also serve a warm dish to share. An eggy soufflé topped with thick, fatty pieces of bacon and tart lingonberries on the side. We loved this egg dish. So fluffy, so tasty, and so light and airy. Later in the day, we took a picnic down to the beach with a lunch bag packed by the Vene team. It was filled with thermoses filled with coffee, bottles of fresh apple juice, granola bars, and sourdough sandwiches with ham, lettuce, and cucumber. Daniel Berlin is back and better than ever. We have always loved his food, but our meal at Vene was on a whole other level compared to before. Now the cooking feels sharper, more refined, more polished, and more fine dining. The menu was practically flawless with comforting flavors, top quality ingredients cooked perfectly, and in unique and original ways. And the setting? Breathtaking. It's a place you don't want to leave. We highly recommend a visit and a stay at Vene. This place is such a gem, and we are lucky to have it so close to us in Scandinavia. It really feels like another world, and yet it's less than 2 hours from Copenhagen. Vene has the bones of a 3-star restaurant. With a few years of service and consistency under their belt, we hope Michelin will agree. This is one of the very top restaurants in Scandinavia, and a place worth a special journey. Did you know we have an international food community? Join the Hungries to connect with other foodies around the world. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more food and travel videos. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Anders Husa and Carnivore. Thanks for watching!